At this point, the way that some of these parents are behaving and treating their children, we got to stop making excuses for them. We just got to flat out start holding them accountable. The things that they're doing are just, they're not logical. They follow no rhyme or reason. And you can't learn this level of stupidity. And I hope that doesn't get me in trouble before I give you the disclaimer, because I got a little bit of personal commentary to say about this story. But before we get into it, just in case if you're brand new here, let me give you a disclaimer first. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And real quick, and let me thank our new channel members who are out there. If you guys do want to join us on the channel membership, we welcome you guys to join the AFC, because our mission is to try to give our babies a voice. We advocate for children first. Babies' lives matter. This is one of many t-shirts that I do have, and I think it's a good message. Here's the thing. I've been preaching against parents spanking their children for the past 5 years. I think I've given a plethora of reasons why you shouldn't. It's psychologically damaging to children, and it also teaches children to fear the person who is inflicting that damage against them. It does not teach them respect. It teaches them fear. And I don't think that we can properly raise children when you raise children with fear. Children are very smart. They're like sponges. They'll absorb what we put into them. So if we put love into them, we'll get love back. If you put trash into children, guess what you'll get back? This trash that you guys see on my screen, and I'm getting this story from illicitdeeds.com. So Illicit Deeds, my friend, my sister, thank you so much for this article. This trash that you guys see on my screen, a Washington mother is charged with murdering her 3-year-old son, and court documents reveal that the boy had multiple burns, bruises, wounds, and appeared to have been shocked with a taser. Look how small this prince is. He looks to be real. He looks just like his mama. He looks just like his mom. You could just tell by his demeanor. Handsome little man. And that breaks my heart that you can care this little, that you just beat and beat and beat and beat. And then you're just like, oh, I didn't mean to kill him. If you can hit a child with this level of force that causes them to die, you had every intention of killing them. Let me just throw that out there. So about at 7:30 p.m. on February the 12th, and we'll get back to the taser. Put a pin in that. Where's my pen? Take a pen, bookmark that. We'll come back to it. About 7:30 p.m. on February the 12th, officers responded to a report of an unresponsive child who was cold to the touch in an apartment on South Mason Avenue in Tacoma, Washington. When police arrived, officers went inside the unit and found the child. Detectives said they found multiple wounds to the chest, to the child's chest, sides, arms, and legs, consistent with being struck by an object. The child also had multiple areas where the victim's skin was red and it appeared to be burned. There were also other injuries with the same loop pattern, which was observed on his legs and chest. It was also noted that there were several small marks on the victim's chest, which appeared to coincide with an electrical shock device, or otherwise known as a taser, located on the kitchen table. To all the people that believe in physically disciplining your children, I would love for some of those people to tell me the logic in tasering your baby. She's taking objects and beating the hell out of him with it. What is he supposed to learn from that? Matter of fact, what is he supposed to learn from being electrically shocked? What do you think that would actually do to a full grown adult. If you took a taser, just tasered the hell out of her grown ass. Actually, a personal story of mine, and you guys can actually look this up in Oklahoma. I had a foster brother. He wasn't with us for very long because my mom and dad kept foster kids. But I had love in my heart for this foster kid that we had. I call him a brother. He was a troubled kid and stayed in trouble for a long time. He was tasered by the police to the point where it killed him. He was very strong and he was an adult, and it still killed him. This child is 3 years old. So I want you to think about what a taser could do and kill a grown, physically fit adult. What in God's green earth, because there's some words I want to say that I'm trying my best not to say. I'm trying not to use F's and GDs and all this other stuff, but it's stuff that I want to say because I'm very, very pissed off with this story. And she's sitting there looking with that sad puppy dog look on her face like she wants somebody to feel some freaking sympathy for her. And I don't feel none. Never will. You tasered a baby. Tasered a baby. Let's keep going. According to the documents, the child's mother, Ivey Marie Lewis, told investigators her son ran into the walls multiple times and hit his head. She said he did that regularly. How many stories have we done where people who are accused of hurting, murdering, and abusing children blame the children? They blame it on themselves. Let me see if I can find her age here real quick, because I would actually like to know her age too. "25 years old. She's 25 years dumb. Say it like that. She told investigators that the boy did this to himself. He killed himself. What is he, a robot? He just walked into the wall, just psh, psh, malfunction, psh, psh, malfunction, not computing, psh, psh, not computing, and killed himself. What? Let me guess. He tasered himself to death too, right? Really? Sure, she wants us to believe that. But she told investigators that her son ran into the wall multiple times and hit his head, and she said he did that regularly. When asked, police said Lewis denied ever using a cord or a hanger to strike the victim, which we know, if you've been in the black community, if you've been in the black household, you know that that's flat out bullshit. Almost all black children have been hit with coat hangers and shoes and belts and anything your parent could get your hand on. That's why we tend to laugh about it in comedy, because too many of us have experienced that exact same thing. And what do we do to our children? We put our children through that exact same thing. That's why people like me, I've been trying to encourage people to break that curse. That's why I've been speaking out against it, because it's wrong. It's dumb. We got to stop doing that. It's Neanderthal. That's slavery stuff. Stop treating your kids like slaves. If slavery was so bad, stop treating your kids like slaves. All right? Instead, Lewis says she made the child stand in the corner in timeout as punishment. Now, we all know in the black community, that's bullshit. Ma'am. There is hardly no black children. What's this baby's name? Let me see if I can find his name again. What's his name? I don't know if it gave his name or not. But you ain't never told little Timmy, go to timeout. Y'all believe that? Or do y'all believe that she was tasering this boy and hitting him with whatever she could find? Fly swatters, vacuum cleaner cords, spatulas, hangers. Thank you. Post it in there. Wet towels. Come on. She says she made him stand in the corner and time out. And I think that's a lie. As punishment. And she said that she rarely swatted him on the butt or the hand with her hands. Later in the interview, she admitted to using marijuana and methamphetamine several days prior. She also admitted to previously hitting the little boy with the initials PL, so I don't know what his name is, with a belt when she caught him and a female child cuddling together. Even that sounds... I don't even want to speculate on what that might mean. The woman's second child, a 1-year-old, so she's 25 with 2 kids, is now in protective custody. Police said that the baby was taken to a local hospital for examination. Court documents said that the hospital detected meth in the baby's system. Prosecutors said that they would likely file additional charges once they received the confirmation that the 1-year-old had meth in his system. Police searched the bedroom, and thank you again to Illicit Deeds. Illicit Deeds knows what I like to hear. I love to hear details, the real stuff. Thank you, Illicit Deeds, for this article. Police searched the bedroom and found a black electrical cord that had been tied at one end and had multiple loose wires at the other end. That sounds like some black people house stuff right there. Mm-hmm. What do we do? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There were also at least 2 loops in the wire that appeared to coincide with the loop-shaped injuries on the victim's body. Mm-hmm. The burns may have come from the apartment's heater. Officers said it was turned up to the maximum, and when they arrived to the apartment, it was so hot that one of the officers reported that it was difficult to breathe inside. While police were still at the scene, they were contacted by a man who identified himself as the initial 911 caller. He had said he had gone to Lewis's apartment after the Super Bowl to hang out. When he arrived, Lewis told him, "I think there's something wrong." And she was talking about her son. He noted that the victim was not responsive and appeared cold to the touch, after which he rushed to call for help. Later in the interview, the man told police that he had previously seen Lewis strike the child with an electrical cord as punishment for wetting the bed. Mm-hmm. Lewis is now charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. She's being held in Pierce County Jail in lieu of $2 million bail, and I like that. Another child inside the home was placed into protective custody. During her initial interview, Lewis informed investigators she was already under supervision by CPS Child Protective Services, indicating that the child had been in foster care from when he was 10 months old up until about 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. The Department of Children, Youth and Families Department of Children, Youth and Families for information released this comment about CPS involving Lewis. Most child welfare records are confidential and we cannot comment on an active law enforcement investigation. According to Pierce County prosecutors, Lewis has an extensive criminal history, including 11 prior arrests. 11 prior arrests, including 2 prior felony convictions, unlawful possession of a stolen vehicle, and unlawful possession of a firearm. Why does she continue to get to be a parent? Why does she continue to keep getting chances to be around children, being such a dangerous parent? Let me give you guys the fair usage. That just doesn't make any sense. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would do me a favor and please click the thumbs up. I know some of you guys are going to have some opinions and maybe some strong ones. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But hit that thumbs up to share this video so more people can see it, okay?
A Tacoma mother accused of killing her own son now faces charges of murder in the first and second degree. Today, Ivy Marie Lewis appeared virtually for her Pierce County court hearing, but it's not the first time that she's faced a judge. Thanks for joining us for the news at 5. I'm Jamie Tompkins.
And I'm David Rose. Prosecutors say she has a lengthy criminal history already, but nothing in her record compares to this.
Fox 13's Frankie Thompson joins us live from the courthouse after reading those disturbing details revealed by investigators. Frankie, what do you know?
Jamie, David, not only is Ivy Lewis accused of killing her 3-year-old son, court documents say she told detectives that she used methamphetamine several days prior to the boy's death. Her second child, a 1-year-old, is now in protective custody, and a local hospital says meth was just found in the baby's system. In the case against 25-year-old Ivy Lewis, accused of killing her 3-year-old son, a judge sets her bail at $2 million.
Do you understand that, ma'am? Yes, Your Honor.
Tacoma police say they got a 911 call from Lewis's friend who was visiting Sunday evening. Police say that friend told investigators Lewis said something was wrong with her son. The friend says when he checked on the child, the boy was cold to the touch. When officers arrived, Lewis was the only adult inside with her 2 children. Court documents say officers saw the little boy was stiff and had multiple bruises on his face that appeared to be fresh. The victim's face was discolored, bruised, and had obvious burn marks on the entirety of his face. Officers also observed cuts on the victim's face. Removing the sweater he was wearing, police also observed multiple wounds on the victim's chest, sides, arms, and legs consistent with being struck with an object. The victim also had what appeared to be fresh injuries to his upper buttocks and back. It was also noted there were several small marks on the victim's chest, which appeared to coincide with an electrical shock device, Taser, located on the kitchen table.
These injuries show that the defendant is a danger to others, particularly her surviving 1-year-old child.
Court documents say during the investigation at the apartment, detectives found a tied-up electrical cord that appeared to be in a shape consistent with the injuries on the child's body. Detectives did a more thorough interview with Lewis's friend. He stated that he had previously observed Lewis strike her son with an electrical cord. He explained that Lewis had the boy raise one of his arms and she then struck him in the side of the torso with the cord. The man reported that Lewis had been punishing the child for urinating on a mattress that had been in a playroom. After the urinating incident, the mattress was removed from the room, leaving the victim without a sleeping area. In deciding to keep Lewis in custody, the judge did not hold back when finding probable cause on the cruelty alleged to have been committed in this case.
To call it horrific is to understate it.
Court documents say during her interview with detectives, Lewis told them she was under supervision by Child Protective Services, indicating that her son had been in foster care from the time he was 10 months old until approximately 6 months prior to this incident. Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families says most child welfare records are confidential and the office cannot comment on active law enforcement investigations. Prosecutors say more charges, including abuse, could soon be filed against Lewis. Reporting live in Tacoma, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13.
A Tacoma mom accused of killing her own son now faces charges of murder in the first and second degree. Ivy Marie Lewis appeared virtually for her Pierce County court hearing. The judge has set bail at $2 million, citing her prior history. Prosecutors say that she had 2 prior felony convictions for unlawful possession of a stolen vehicle and unlawful possession of a firearm. When detectives arrived at the scene and found the 3-year-old boy was dead, they were told by Lewis that she was under the supervision of Child Protective Services. Prosecutors say more charges, including abuse, could soon be filed against Lewis. Fox 13's Frankie Thompson has been following this story very closely, and she'll be joining us next hour this morning with the very latest on this case.
So again, I want people to just think about this before you go feeling sorry for her, and think about the fact that this woman should have not only have ever been a mother, nobody should have ever procreated with her, but the fact that knowing that she had all of these prior convictions and still got to keep her children is just flat out inexcusable. I don't know what their reason is for letting that go, but then for this level of abuse to go on for this long, and with him being 3 years old, I'm pretty sure she didn't have him in daycare. If she did, somebody should have noticed this by now. But that's why I say, it should be more accountability in the household when we really need to have children with mothers and fathers together, raising these children with a plan in a household. This single parenting thing is not meant to be the case. It's a very difficult thing to do. And just because you have a couple of success stories, well, what about these thousands of unsuccessful stories? And that's the part that I'm trying to bring out and get people to understand that that's what has to change. But thank you guys so much for listening to the story. And RIP to that young soul. I don't even have his name, but he's a beautiful baby boy. Let me see if I can get his picture back up here. If I can. Couldn't get his picture back up there. He's a beautiful little boy. Young Prince. R.I.P. Thank you guys so much for listening to the story. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If I missed something, or if you feel like there's something that could have been done better to prevent this, let me know what you guys think, because I think everybody across the board made errors here. Okay? Thank you.